When Naruto first saw Ebisu, he said to Kakashi, "Why is this guy going to train me? I'm stronger than him and I've beaten him before." Ebisu quickly silenced Naruto, saying, "I'll let you eat as much ramen as you want, but don't tell anyone about what happened." Kakashi then told Naruto, "Ebisu is an elite trainer. He'll teach you better than I can. Honestly, your basic skills are weaker than Sasuke's and Sakura's, so you need to train hard on the basics. If you really want to get stronger, do everything he says." Kakashi left, thinking, "I'm sure Ebisu will be tough on him, but it's for his own good." Naruto was very upset and told Ebisu, "You're too weak to train me." Ebisu replied, "Let's see who's weak. I'll give you a challenge. Try running away and hiding from me. If you can manage to hide without me finding you, I'll quit training you and let Kakashi train you instead." Naruto was overjoyed and immediately started running. Each time he tried to get away, Ebisu would appear in front of him. Naruto kept trying to escape over and over until he was completely exhausted. Ebisu said to him, "I think now you understand how strong I am. Let's start the training together." Naruto responded, "No, I'm going to beat you and make Kakashi train me." He leaped to attack Ebisu, but Ebisu disappeared before his eyes, saying, "The game is over now." They went to the ramen shop Naruto loved. There, Ebisu said, "Based on what Kakashi told me and the techniques I've seen you use, you can't fully control your chakra. You're the weakest on your team. For example, Sakura controls her chakra perfectly, and Sasuke, while slightly less skilled than her, is still very good. But in your case, you're very weak and lack proper chakra control." Naruto protested, "But sometimes I'm better than Sakura and Sasuke." Ebisu replied, "That's because there's another chakra inside you. The Ninetales power is added to your own. That's the reason. But none of that matters now. We're going to start training, and soon you'll be stronger than both of them." He took Naruto to the hot springs and said, "This is where we'll train. Your first task is to walk on the hot water." Naruto was shocked and asked, "Can you even do that?" Ebisu replied, "Of course. This training is similar to what you did with Kakashi when you climb trees. First, focus your chakra into your feet, then start walking on the water while balancing your body. Adjust the chakra amount depending on the area you're on in the water." Naruto tried the technique but fell into the water repeatedly. He kept attempting it without success, while Ebisu watched him. Ebisu remembered Konohamaru's words about Naruto and, looking at him, noticed he was improving. He said, "I didn't expect you to get better this quickly. I misunderstood you at first, but you learn faster than I do. You're not a demon fox. You're a great ninja of the hidden leaf." Suddenly, Ebisu turned to see someone watching the girls at the hot springs. He rushed to attack the man, but the stranger used a summoning technique, calling forth a giant toad and easily defeating Ebisu. Naruto was astonished at the man's strength. Naruto rushed to check on Ebisu and found him completely unconscious. He turned to the man and asked, "Who are you?" The man replied, "My name is Jiraiya. I'm the master of Mount Myaboku and a writer of novels." Naruto said, "Kakashi was always reading that novel of yours, but the person you attacked is my trainer. So, what are you going to do about my training?" Jiraiya replied, "You mean walking on water? That's a very easy exercise." He leapt onto the rooftops and walked away. Naruto said to himself, "It's clear he's a very skilled ninja," and he ran off to try and find him. He eventually located him, but every time he got close, Jiraiya escaped. Finally, Jiraiya said, "Fine, I'll oversee your training." Naruto stood up and tried walking on the water again. He managed to walk a little before falling in. Determined, he removed his clothes and started focusing his chakra again. Suddenly, the nine-tails seal on his stomach became visible. Jiraiya looked at it and thought this seal was designed to let the nine-tails chakra leak out and take any form. The fourth Hokage must have done this to protect him. Then he noticed another seal, the one Orochimaru had placed. He thought, this seal looks like a recent addition. It's what's causing him to struggle with chakra control. I'm sure Orochimaru did this, as it's done in a style similar to mine. Jiraiya used his own power to reseal Naruto and removed Orochimaru's mark. He said, "Naruto, try walking on the water again." When Naruto tried, he found he could walk with ease. Jiraiya said, "It's only a matter of time before you can fully control the Ninetales power. Now, come with me, and I'll teach you a secret technique." They sat together, and Jiraiya said, "You probably don't realize it, but you have two different types of chakra in your body." Naruto replied, "I felt a red chakra coming out of me before, but I don't remember the details exactly." Jiraiya said, "All right then, let's head to the hot springs for now." The two of them went there to relax, and Jiraiya said, "Tomorrow, I'll teach you about the secret technique." In the middle of the night, Naruto was asleep in his bed while Jiraiya stood at a distance, watching. Suddenly, Ebisu appeared, and Jiraiya said, "I'm sorry for stealing your student." Ebisu replied, "That's not the issue. The third Hokage has been looking for you, but he couldn't locate you. Since you're in the village, he'll be very pleased. Jiraiya said, don't tell him I'm here. I only came to the village to get some ideas for my novel. I don't want to get involved in any trouble, especially anything related to Orochimaru. Ebisu said, but you know we can't stop Orochimaru without someone of his strength or greater, and that person is you. Both of you are legendary Sannin of the Hidden Leaf. Ebisu left, walking away. At the same time, Gaara was sitting awake through the night. A Sound Village ninja approached him and asked, why are you up all night? But since you're Sasuke's first opponent in the fight, I have to kill you here. Suddenly, Gaara transformed into a strange beast and attacked, killing him easily. Meanwhile, Kabuto was sitting with a Sand Village Jonin, saying, tonight is the night of the full moon, so Gaara's power will be immense. He could easily defeat Sasuke. At the same time, Gekko was watching them from a distance and overheard Kabuto saying, Orochimaru ordered me to kidnap Sasuke, but I failed because Kakashi stopped me. They now know I'm a spy for the Sound Village. The Sand Jonin replied, if anyone finds out we're meeting here, all the plans we've made to crush the Hidden Leaf will fail. Kabuto said, no one discovered me. I revealed myself to them intentionally to see their reaction. The Sand Jonin said, our village will never appear at the start of the war. That's the Kazekage's wish. Kabuto handed him a scroll and said, the Sound Village's plan is in this scroll. Deliver it to Gaara and his allies. He turned to leave and added, don't worry. I know someone is watching us right now. I'll take care of him. At that moment, Gekko was indeed watching them from earlier, having overheard everything. Suddenly, he sprinted away from the scene, but the Sand Jonin caught up to him. Gekko tried to attack with his sword, but the Jonin caught it and used a wind technique to kill him. The next day, Jiraiya and Naruto were training. Jiraiya said, you mentioned that red energy comes out of you sometimes. Try to control it and draw it out. Naruto attempted to, but only blue chakra, his natural chakra, emerged. Jiraiya thought, it's clear he doesn't realize the red chakra belongs to the Ninetales. From what he said, it only appears when his life is in danger. Jiraiya said to Naruto, the secret technique I'm going to teach you requires a lot of chakra. You won't be able to use it without the red chakra, so you need to learn how to access it anytime. It will be your greatest weapon in battle. For now, I'll teach you the summoning technique. Naruto asked, how do I do it? Jiraiya replied, you link your blood with a species of animals, allowing you to summon them for battle. Naruto was thrilled and said, teach me quickly. Jiraiya said, first, you need to exhaust all your basic energy. Naruto replied, that's easy. He used the shadow clone technique to create many clones and made them fight each other. Eventually, Naruto collapsed from exhaustion. Jiraiya said, now it's time to teach you the technique. He pricked his finger, summoned a large toad, and handed Naruto a scroll. Jiraiya said, this is the contract to summon toads. Write your name in blood and place your fingerprints. Naruto did so and attempted the summoning technique. However, he only summoned a tiny, newborn toad. Jiraiya was shocked by how weak his power was. At the same time, the Umbu arrived at the location where Gekko had been killed. They were astonished at how someone as powerful as him could die so easily. At that time, the matter was reported to the Hokage, who gathered all the ninjas in the village. He said, it's clear that Orochimaru is also behind what happened. However, we can't cancel the Chunin exams. Orochimaru has enough power to establish a small village on his own. Since he left the Hidden Leaf, it's certain that other villages are watching him closely. He bears a grudge against Konoha, making him a suitable ally for any other village. One of the ninjas asked, does that mean one of the villages allied with us collaborated with Orochimaru to betray Konoha? Kakashi replied, all alliances between villages are ultimately verbal agreements. That's the very reason why the Great Ninja War began before. The Hokage said, for now, we don't have any information. We won't assume anything until we investigate further. The Umbu have been dispatched to gather intel. In the end, I trust all of you. If the worst happens, we'll unite all of Konoha's strength and fight. Kakashi left to train for a while. During his training, he noticed Sasuke standing in front of him. Kakashi said, you've finally arrived. I've been waiting for you for some time. At the same time, Sakura went to buy a flower to visit Sasuke and Lee. She ran into Ino, who was working at the shop, and the two of them headed to the hospital together. When the nurse escorted them to Sasuke's room, they found it empty. Sakura grew more anxious, remembering Orochimaru's words about Sasuke seeking him out. The nurse told them, we'll look for him immediately. If you find any information, please inform us. She then left to check on Lee's room, only to find it empty as well. Sakura looked out the window and saw Lee training outside the hospital. When they went to check on him, they found him collapsed on the ground from exhaustion. Sakura said to Ino, why do boys push themselves so hard? Their methods are so harsh on themselves. Ino replied, I'm sorry, but I honestly don't know. At the same time, all the ninjas were busy training. Naruto had improved slightly in his summoning technique and managed to summon a frog with hind legs. The next day, Naruto and Jiraiya returned to the same spot, and Naruto tried using summoning techniques again. He managed to summon a slightly larger frog, but suddenly fainted from exhaustion. Jiraiya said to himself, that's expected since he's been training hard for 3 weeks straight. At the same time, the third Hokage was sitting in his house, looking at pictures of the previous Hokage, including the fourth Hokage, Naruto's father. Suddenly, Anko entered and said, I'm sorry for coming back alive from the forest of death. He replied, regret doesn't matter now. What happened was beyond your ability. No one in our village can stand against Orochimaru's power, not even me. Anko said, if the fourth Hokage were alive, he could stop him easily. The third Hokage replied, never say that. He gave his life to save our village. He did all that at the age of 13. We must act with the strength we have now. Don't blame yourself for anything. He then left the room. Meanwhile, Jiraiya tried to wake Naruto up, saying, you've been at this for 3 weeks without noticeable progress, but I have a way to help you. Naruto asked, what is it? Jiraiya replied, it'll put your life in danger. If you're okay with that, follow me. They went back to the hot springs, ate some food, and then left. Jiraiya asked Naruto, is there anything else you want to do? Naruto said no, and suddenly Jiraiya struck him in the stomach. He thought to himself, the key to controlling the Ninetales power is to put his life in danger. I'll teach him how to use his body as the key to this power. I hope the fourth Hokage won't be upset with me. When Naruto woke up, he found Jiraiya saying, your training is over, and now you must die. If you don't want to die, do something about it. Extract the chakra buried inside you. Then Jiraiya pushed him off a cliff. Naruto fell into a massive canyon, trying to grab onto any rocks but failing. Jiraiya said, you won't be able to grab onto anything with your normal strength because the distance is too great. You must control the Ninetales power. If you can unlock the gate inside you, you'll control its power. Naruto fell closer to the abyss, feeling the approach of death more and more. At the same time, Irika gathered the students and was teaching them about the title of Hokage in the village. Suddenly, the third Hokage entered the room. Irika told the students, the Hokage is the title given to the strongest person in the village. This is the third Hokage himself, the strongest in our village. One of the students said, I'll be the fifth Hokage. The Hokage replied, it's not easy at all. Live your life however you like, but the most important thing is to protect the people dear to you. Each of us has someone we care about and try to protect. For me, the people I cherish are the entire village. He turned toward the statue of the fourth Hokage and said, that's what you always said, and it's the same thing you did when you tried to protect the village with the person dearest to you, Naruto. Naruto regained consciousness and found himself in a strange place. He heard a powerful roar and moved toward the source of the sound. Suddenly, he stood before a massive gate with a seal on it. Behind the gate appeared a terrifying beast. The creature said, come closer. When Naruto approached, the beast lunged at him, saying, I want to talk to you, but this gate won't open because of the seal. Naruto said, you're definitely the Ninetales. The red chakra that comes out of me is yours. The fox replied, that's correct. But what brings you here? Naruto said, you stupid fox. You've been inside my body all this time, and I need your power now. I'll take it as rent. The fox laughed, surrounded Naruto with its energy, and said, I'll give you some of it as a reward for reaching this place. Suddenly, Naruto woke up, used the summoning technique, and managed to summon a massive frog. Naruto was thrilled with the massive summon he had managed to perform. Jiraiya stood observing him, thinking, Naruto managed to call on the Ninetales chakra himself this time, but he still hasn't fully mastered it. He used a huge amount of chakra, and among all the frogs he could summon, he called their king. Naruto looked up to see the giant frog glaring angrily at him. The frog said, I am the chief of the toads, Gamabunta. Naruto clung to him desperately to avoid falling off. Gamabunta called out for Jiraiya, but Jiraiya muttered to himself, this isn't going well. Even I can't handle Gamabunta easily. I'd better leave before he spots me. Gamabunta asked Naruto, where's Jiraiya? If you answer all my questions, I might consider letting you summon me. Naruto, frightened, replied, he's up there, but why do you want him? Gamabunta said, that's what I want to ask him. Why he summoned me to a place like this? Naruto responded, but he didn't summon you. I summoned you here. I fell off that cliff and needed you to save me. Gamabunta looked surprised, then started laughing. That's the funniest joke I've heard in my life. A kid like you could never summon me. Naruto, annoyed, said, I'm telling the truth. I really summoned you. Gamabunta laughed harder, making Naruto even angrier. Naruto shouted, I summoned you, so that makes me your master. You have to listen to me. Gamabunta replied, it sounds like you want me to kill you. Using his tongue, he grabbed Naruto and leapt to the top of the cliff. Naruto landed on the ground, stunned by Gamabunta's Gamabunta's massive size. Gamabunta said, "Even if you did summon me, I won't accept you as my master when you can't even stay on my back without falling. I haven't left the mountain in a long time, but since Jiraiya doesn't need me, I'll wander around for a bit." Naruto, furious, ran and leapt onto Gamabunta's back. He declared, "If you're going to accept the fact that I summoned you, then I'll stay on your back all day long. I'll make you recognize me as your master." Gamabunta tried to shake Naruto off, but Naruto clung to him with all his strength. Jiraiya watched the scene unfold from a distance. At the same time, Kankuro and Temari were having a conversation. Kankuro said, "Isn't that kid walking over there the one you'll be fighting in your first match? You need to summon properly against him." Temari replied, "I won't lose easily to someone like him." Kankuro said, "You're wrong. If you had taken the Chunin exam before what happened in our village, you wouldn't have reached the final test so easily." Temari recalled their jonin gathering them together and saying, "The village of the sand is sending you to the exam, but it's not for you to pass. Our goal is to use the exam to destroy the village of Konoha." Temari had asked, "Isn't the village of Konoha an ally of the village hidden in the sand?" The jonin replied, "That's the problem. You genin don't know the details, but after we formed an alliance, the Wind Daimyo forced us to reduce our weapons and became heavily cooperative with Konoha. This reduced the number of missions we received, which also decreased the number of ninja. In this situation, the ninja in our village are angry. To maintain our strength, we had to enhance the power of each individual ninja. That's why ninja like you and Gaara were developed. The Kazekage felt threatened when our village's power declined, so he decided to collaborate with the village of the Sound to destroy Konoha. This will restore the dignity of the Sand Village and show the foolish daimyo the importance of our village. This is our chance to reclaim our strength and the strength of our village." He turned to Gaara and said, "This mission heavily depends on your strength. Once it's completed, you'll head into another war against Konoha." Temari said, "The alliance between the two nations has protected people for a long time, but now, because of war, so many lives will be lost." The jonin replied, "These are the Kazekage's orders. Ninja are tools of war, and the alliance threatens our existence. This is a high-level mission, and you must execute it with utmost care." Temari then asked Kankuro, "Aren't you supposed to be watching over Gaara now?" Kankuro replied, "He only becomes active at night. During the day, there's no danger from him." Meanwhile, Naruto was still clinging to Gamabunta's back. At the same time, the jonin from the Sand Village went to meet the Kazekage, handing him the scroll Kabuto had given him. The jonin asked, "Can we fake a training session near the border?" The Kazekage replied, "No, Konoha isn't foolish. They've deployed the Umbu across the area to monitor everything. If we do anything like that, they'll easily uncover our intentions. But don't worry, Gaara alone is enough to complete the mission. The dignity of our village depends on you. Protect it with all your might." If you are excited to see the rest of the story, just get down to the comments and show me your enthusiasm. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications to get all the new videos. That's all for this video, and see you next.